Ladies, first round, you ready to fight? You ready to fight? Bring it on.
And we are underway here at Cage Warriors 94. And immediately trying to start things off with the low kick there was Fiorot, but she's pushed McCourt up against the cage, Josh.
Yeah, McCourt's got a good defensive frame here, looks to swing the hip across, but I like the pressure early on from Fiorot. She's really setting a bit of a grinding pace to this one.
McCourt is active on the grappling circuit, so we perhaps were expecting to see her look to close the distance and grapple early, but it's been the other way around thus far.
Yeah, McCourt with a very strong overhook here. That's what's trying to keep her defensively okay here. And there we go.
Beautiful takedown from the Irish woman.
A really nice Aragoshi, stepped all the way across the hip, and she loaded it up, and it just teetered on the edge and managed to get the momentum she needed. And this is a strong position, but she does have to be wary of Fiorot moving to her back if she can utilize that right underhook.
Nice elbows there from McCourt. That's something Fiorot won't have dealt with thus far in her career. This is her professional debut. It'll be the first time she's ever had to deal with the elbows in a live combat situation.
Oh, she's got a crucifix here, so looking to trap that left arm of Fiorot. And you can see Fiorot's having a bridge. I mean, you can get a serious adrenaline response from someone when you pin both their arms in that position and start landing good strikes.
Leah McCourt looking very calm here as she steps over into full mount, right in front of the SBG corner.
Oh, she's got to be careful of the scramble here. I mean, look, it was a good decision to go to mount because, fundamentally her base was a bit more sound there than the overhook scarf hold that she had, but back up against the fence. See if she looks for that hip toss again.
Fiorot looking to create some space here and utilize the fast run of this floor to perhaps get that karate attack going.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm a little bit surprised her immediate intent was to put this one up against the cage wall.
Oh, nice kick to the body. Drops McCourt to the seat of her pants. Just caught her off balance there.
Yeah, just good use of timing. The right momentum, the right angle.
And there's a nasty mark on the left leg of the Northern Irish woman McCourt from that leg kick. A nice combination from the French woman.
Ooh, jumping spinning side kick.
The karate is strong with this one.
You can see she throws really straight punches. I mean, that's, the karate style is straight in, down the middle, get that point landed first, because that would traditionally stop that sequence of action.
McCourt looks to be marked up under the left eye as well there, Josh. I'm not sure if perhaps that was something she was carrying with her prior to the bout, or if that's something that Manon Fiorot has managed to pull off during this first round.
Yeah, as you say, Brad, she's wearing quite a bit of damage from just one of those kicks on that lead leg. And that was a good sequence. Good combination, really hid that round kick very well.
Oh, big right hand. McCourt takes it, but she's being backed up here.
Well, you can see the confidence in Fiorot just came out, and she suddenly realized she could land these striking combinations. But there's that hip toss again. And see, this is technically it's an interesting position because it can be really hard to get out of in quick fashion. But, you've got a great route to your opponent's back if you can just start to turn over to your knees, free your head a little bit. It's not as good for McCourt as you may think here.
Possibly looking to eat some time on the clock is McCourt.
Yeah, I mean, you can't see it from this grip, but her right hand will probably be inside of... Well, there we go. She's moved anyway, but... Looking for the guillotine.
Here.
Oh, and that is deep.
Looking for the big squeeze. She jumps to her back. Leah McCourt has got this locked in tight. She's adjusting the grip though here, Josh.
Yeah, it was interesting. She chose to, rather than try and take it standing, she chose to try and get all the way to full guard, and I think that probably just gave Fiorot the couple of seconds she needed to readjust her neck and her grip.
But you've got to think that McCourt's going to be happy in this position. She'll need to avoid shots like that, though.
Yeah, it makes it a tougher round to score, doesn't it? I mean, she's had 2 good takedowns, a good submission attempt there, but, she's eaten some fairly significant strikes from the French lady.
Thankfully, we don't have the pleasure of totaling up the scores. We've got some of the best judges on the circuit to do that.
So short shots from inside the guard here, just trying to stay safe, head in the middle. Try and keep the hands relatively safe. We're not seeing too much guard work from McCourt right now. But we're going to see the round out in this position.
First round in the books here at Cage Warriors 94. And as you say, Josh, an interesting one for the judges to pull apart, and certainly no lack of action in that first frame.
Yeah, both those ladies had excellent moments. I mean, look, the 2 hip throws from Leah McCourt were excellent, and she was able to stabilize enough position, at least in the first attempt, to land some significant strikes. Let's have a look at some of the replays here, and I'm sure we'll see those. That was the side kick, where she just caught her coming in.
Not quite getting the contact she needed on that jumping, spinning back kick. And you see the welt there on the leg of Leah McCourt. And this was a great combination. There was actually a big right hand prior to that, which caught McCourt.
So you can see she's got a good grip. She's putting good pressure in that position, but it's hard to progress significantly without giving up your back from there. And not really enough time for Fiorot to land any significant strikes in this closed guard position.
And perhaps the judges see it differently, but perhaps our viewers at home do too. But for where I'm sitting, you couldn't really be too mad at that round going either way, or even a draw.
That's a tough one. It's genuinely a tough one, because like effective grappling, effective striking, equal weighting, you know, really, really evenly split.
Second round, ladies. You ready? You ready? Bring it on.
Referee Leon Roberts, one of the best in the game, gets this second frame underway. First of 5 prelim bouts we have for you this evening. Swinging with absolute impunity there was Leah McCourt, rather Manon Fiorot.
That was an interesting bit of timing on that entry from McCourt. She's got a good 50-50 here, where she's really trapping the left elbow down, and she's going to look to hip throw again here.
Worked for her on a number of occasions in the first round, going straight back to it in the second and wasting no time closing the distance there, Josh.
Yeah, it might be hard to do up against the cage from this angle. These are good little short knees, but you can see she's staying really tight on this body lock.
We've seen what the Frenchwoman was able to do, given a little bit of space.
Don't grab that cage. Don't grab that cage.
And a stern warning there from the referee about grabbing the cage. I don't expect he's going to let that one go. Should it happen again?
This is interesting. She's given up double unders, which you usually say is something you would never do, but she's done it so she can get this head and arm grip to execute the throw. It's a bit dicey of a position, but
great work to hold on to the wrist. But it's been reversed, and it's the Frenchwoman on McCourt's back now.
Yeah, and McCourt is going to have to get a hand in to defend her neck here, because Fiorot's climbing high, but she's going to fall off if she can't send a hook deep. Well, she can attack an arm on the way down.
Just a little bit too high on the back.
She's got to get that right leg up and working, because there's a big hole in her guard here if McCourt chooses to step over that left leg. Trying to put some rubber guard to work.
Giving up the back's always a risk when you're going for those trip-style takedowns.
Yeah, and it was actually a really good scramble from Fiorot to work her way to the back. I mean, McCourt tried to throw off the whizzer in defense and just slipped and missed it, basically. But she's ended up in actually a very advantageous top half guard here. I think if Fiorot had just stabilized a little bit more on the back, you know, she was anxious to go for the choke, understandably so, but it's given up position fairly quickly here.
That's probably a situation she didn't expect herself to be in, and having to react quickly was Manon Fiorot. Looking to push away from the cage.
Yeah, I expect a hip switch pass from McCourt here. You can see her pinching the knees together. I expect that left hip to drop down to the mat. Well, bulldozing forward, and good little scramble from Fiorot. She can post and walk her back up the cage here. What she can't do is let McCourt get behind her and between her and the cage, as you can see McCourt trying to do. Fiorot's got to get that left shoulder back.
Interesting evolution in mixed martial arts, Josh. If you look 10, 15 years ago, fighters didn't want to have their back on the cage in the corner. It was seen as a disadvantageous position, but now, of course, they're learning to use the environment, using the cage to walk back to their feet, and it really has added another dimension to the cage play aspect of it all.
Yeah, offensively or defensively, there's a lot of things that change when you really start using that wall effectively. And you know, here Fiorot's got to be careful she doesn't give up her back, but Big hip heist and finds herself in half guard now. It's good timing, really good timing.
Manon Fiorot in that top position. She's going to need something spectacular here to take this round back. I'd venture that anything but a finish at this stage in the round is going to mean it's McCourt's frame. Still just over a minute to play with McCourt. Looking for a heel hook there, Josh.
Yeah, and she can transition to a knee bar here. I mean, look, the knee is still very much inside, and that means the leg is in danger, but great job of getting a leg back and flattening her out, and now this is a horrible position for McCourt.
If she can get some distance and start getting those hands going.
Well, McCourt's got to turn over onto her knees and use her backside to frame and create space and get away. She cannot, no, she's managed to turn back in, which is the next best thing.
Pace slowing down ever so slightly at the end of this second frame.
You need to see your work for now if you want to stay
I mean,
there.
it was worthwhile attacking that leg. She just, you know, got a little bit loose with it.
Leon Roberts asking for a bit of action there, and he's certainly got it. Looking to end the round strong as Fiorot. Going to be wary of the up kick from this position, though.
Yeah, McCourt's so long and lean that you got to figure she can hit her from there.
So Leah McCourt really with 4 minutes of good control in that round, but Manon Fiorot not looking like she's out of this fight whatsoever, Josh.
No, I mean, look, both these ladies have had an extensive career. They've got a lot of cage time in the amateur ranks. They, you know, and as well, fighting multiple times over multiple successive days. You know, they're used to getting in there and sticking it out. This was the back take attempt, and she prioritized the neck and gave up the position. Wasn't able to secure anything on the way down. You see her right leg got stuck inside and really wasted that position for her. Good hip heist here, though, to get back to top position.
And some good work after it. We was going to see the heel hook attempt now from McCourt, but there were some great ground strikes as well from Fiorot.
Yeah, everything was right about that heel hook up until this point, where she just let, she didn't split her legs apart to force her opponent back and create pinning pressure on the leg, and it just allowed Fiorot to flatten her out and smash her a little bit.
Yeah, Fiorot going full Donkey Kong at the end of that round. And we still have everything to play for in the third. Manon Fiorot, Leah McCourt, third and final round underway here at Cage Warriors 94. It's going to be very interesting to see how McCourt approaches this one, Josh. Is she going to try and rush her opponent straight away and get that takedown?
There's a good striking sequence from Fiorot. We haven't really seen her oh, that's a good right hand as she came in. We haven't seen her throw too many strikes in the last round. McCourt was really able to shut her down pretty well.
Quite economical with the strikes when she has been on the offensive on the feet, but you tend to see that from a lot of fighters with a karate background, that whether it be point fighting or the more traditional counter-striking style of karate.
Yeah, that was really good timing from McCourt to duck that incoming right. No, she's going to step across the hip again. You see, she takes this head grip rather than underhook, or I know she did it from an overhook in the first round, but you know, it's dangerous if you don't really land the throw very well and secure your position on the ground. This is a bit better with the overhook.
Fiorot again grabbed the cage there, and I believe she was also grabbing the inside of the glove when she was trying for that triangle attempt in the second round, so keeping referee Leon Roberts on his toes. Not enough action for the referee, so they're going to start again in the center of the cage. This may even benefit Fiorot.
Yeah, certainly could. I mean, you know, she's got good power in her hands, and you can see they're very nice straight or hooking shots.
McCourt really needs to watch for the right hand of Fiorot. She's landed her best and most powerful strikes of the fight with it thus far. Doing a good job of staying on her toes. Oh, and that right hand again. Good head movement from McCourt, though.
Absolutely, but you feel like Fiorot's the only one throwing with actual intention in any of her strikes. The strikes from McCourt are really just feelers to set up these clinch positions.
Get those fingers out.
You think that might be a final warning there for Fiorot?
I think it's got to be. I mean, it's hard. It's a reflex action to reach out, but you know, fighters at the professional level have to be very conscious of that kind of thing. So looking for the trip. She's got a good body lock here. I mean, she'll be able to put a bend in the spine and really start working this position.
Going to be wary of the knees from that position as Fiorot.
Don't grab that cage. Keep your hands flat.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is a dominant grappling position for McCourt. She's just not really. She can really move the Frenchwoman around if she wants to from here.
Has to be said that Fiorot looks to be the physically stronger of the two, and perhaps that's where McCourt's coming up short here. But a great takedown if she can get the top position.
Yeah, good recovery. Old school bulldog headlock here. That's not going to be too hard for McCourt to break out of. You can see her pummel the hand back inside.
Let's see if Fiorot busts out the noogie from this position.
So she's going to split the grip here. She can walk her way all the way up into mount. Now, half guard first.
Well, we have seen a sweep earlier in the fight from the Frenchwoman, and you've got to think she's going to need something spectacular like that. Otherwise, McCourt, I'm sure, will be happy to wear the clock down at this point, Josh. Just under 90 seconds to play with.
Yeah, I think Fiorot's got to get going here. There you go. She's really got to try and bridge. She's got to escape. I mean, look, she may give up another position in the process, but she can't afford to sit here. This is just going to burn the clock away in a very static position. I mean, look, these strikes aren't doing anything, but...
I need to see something more if you want to stay there.
Well, referee agreeing. Oh, that's going to change it. That shoulder pressure, knee cut across.
Oh, I was going to be wary of leaving the arm in.
Yeah, you see that shin on the back of the head. And now she can try and just pummel the leg in front, but good escape from Fiorot. She's got 45 seconds. She's got to work here.
Well, we've seen strong finishes in the previous rounds from Fiorot. She's going to need something spectacular here. She needs to be able to posture up and create some space. Firing off some wild strikes. But until she can get those shoulders nice and high, she's really not going to do any fight-ending damage, Josh, and it's fight-ending damage that she needs.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be a good end to the round, but McCourt's done a good job of getting back to this half butterfly guard here.
Back of the head.
They're going to finish the fight. Both ladies having their moments, but you've got to think McCourt probably getting the better of the last two.
Time, ladies.
Well, both ladies giving it their all, and easy to see why both were amateur champions. And both ladies, I'd be happy to see a lot more from, Josh.
Yeah, both, you know, either way this goes, both have got a good chance to really move forward in this division and gain, you know, a lot more experience in these pro ranks. Let's have a look at some of the replays from that third round.
I was very surprised not to see knees from that position up against the cage, but there was the takedown that really put the fight where McCourt wanted it.
Yeah, she almost didn't scramble back on that position. And this is good, solid, static grappling. You know, she had a good chance of that armbar as well at the end of this round, but just not able to get it working.
McCourt seems to have been cut inside the mouth early on, Josh, so yeah, interesting to see how that may have affected her stamina-wise, if at all. But regardless...
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of contest, we go to the jury for a decision, and the jury has decided the winner after split decision. Blue corner, Leah McCourt!
A split decision there, Josh, in favour of Leah McCourt, and we said there were some close rounds. Our judges divided on it, and I certainly don't think either lady could have been too dissatisfied not to have gone home with the win, but for my money, the decision went the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, you know, McCourt probably did have the better of all of those exchanges, but wow.